We are ready to go with our first of two videos on corporations, chapter 19. First thing I want to let you know is that if you took all of the gross revenues of all of the businesses in the United States, 90% of those gross revenues come through corporations. There can be little tiny corporations. You could form a corporation to do a lawn business. There can be giant corporations like Microsoft. Now, corporations all have certain attributes to them. Their owners, who are called shareholders or stockholders, their owners have limited liability. If you invest $10,000 in United Airlines stock and all their planes start to crash, the most you can lose is $10,000. Corporations in the United States, for the most part, almost all of them, are formed at the state level, okay? If you want to form a corporation, it's going to be formed under the laws of Georgia or New Mexico or Montana or Michigan. So creatures of the state is what we call them. Corporations can have perpetual existence now, unlike maybe 50, 60 years ago. There's a fun video about that. Corporations have centralized management. The shareholders are the owners. They elect the board of directors. If it's a publicly traded corporation, about 12, 13, 14 guys and gals from around the country, around the world, who oversee the corporation from a high level. And the board of directors elects the officers, especially the CEO. Corporations can be either domestic, foreign, or alien. If you form a corporation, let's say to do a lawn business in the state of Arizona, then when that business is operating within the state of Arizona, it's called a domestic corporation. If the lawn business does so well, you expand into California. Then when you're doing business in California as an Arizona corporation, you're called a foreign corporation. Or if you are a corporation formed in the Philippines, for example, and you want to come to Kansas to do business, then in Kansas you would be called an alien corporation. Corporations can be profit and non-profit. For example, General Electric is a profit corporation. Monsanto is a profit corporation. Your lawn business is a profit corporation. Or it could be non-profit, like the American Red Cross, or like the Salvation Army, or even like Loyola University, New Orleans. Okay? Corporations can be publicly held or closely held. A publicly held corporation is one where you can call your stockbroker and ask him or her to go buy you stock in the corporation. If you want United Technology stock, you just pick up your phone and you have your broker buy stock. However, if your little lawn care business is one where you put up $2,000 and your mama put up $1,500 and Uncle Harry put up $4,000 and Mr. Joe, who lives down the street and has known you since you were this tall, put up $3,000, that's a closely held corporation. Your broker can't buy stock in that corporation. The only way you can get stock in that corporation would be to convince Uncle Harry to sell his shares to you. You can have a subchapter S, as in Sam Corporation. That's a corporation allowed by the Internal Revenue Service, which permits folks to take the profits and losses from being shareholders in that corporation and flow the taxes on those profits and losses directly down to their personal income tax. All right, in organizing a corporation, first thing you do is pick a state you want to incorporate in. You can run your lawn care business, which does nothing but do lawn care in Arizona. You can actually form it in the state of New Hampshire if you want to. It would be kind of dumb to, But you could do that. Of course, there are some states that like to get big corporations to incorporate in their state, and Delaware is very, very successful at that. After you've selected your state, then you write articles of incorporation, the basic document of a corporation. It's got the name of the corporation in it. It's got the nature and purpose of the corporation, although now you can say your nature and purpose is to do any legal business. It's got the duration, almost always now perpetual, the number of authorized shares, the names of the initial, or we might say temporary, first board members, the registered agent for service of process for your corporation, the registered office for your corporation. So that's it for video number 1. We'll look for video number 2.